All righty. It says I'm live. I don't see myself on this other computer, but maybe I am. Someone let me know if you can hear me or see me if I
This
am.
other computer,
Oh, here
but
we
maybe
go.
I am.
Let me turn the volume down on
Someone
that one. All right. According to that, I am live. I see Herman or Quiz. I've got Dyslexic Dad in here. What's going on? Loud and clear, fella. Good deal. Always like to check that before I get going just to make sure everything is working good. So I figured I would do a question and an answer thing here. I actually invited a few other creators into here, some older channels. What's up, Randy? Some what's up, Lewis? Simon? Yeah, I've invited a few people here that may or may not pop in. It's older channels with some experience under their belt with YouTube and everything. I was hoping they would join in and kind of be there to help answer some of these questions if y'all have any. And I'm foreseeing a few questions, perhaps. If not, then we'll just have a good hangout. What's up, Sam? We got Loderman in here, Loderman Jack, Randy, Simon, Trumpet Master. That would be Lewis, Dyslexic Dad. Got 24 watching so far. Awesome. And if at some point, if I see that my other fellers are not able, I didn't give them much notice. I decided to do this today. And hang on a second. Oh, okay. And I gave them short notice, and I'm sure everybody had plans, but I will keep my eyes down here in the basement in case somebody happens to pop in. What's up, Troy? Hey, brother Russ. Cheers. Cheers to you, Troy. Bat 13. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. Mine's just the same old, nothing special. I did have a guy, he's local to me. He just dropped off. And I've heard of this guy before. He's got his own seasonings and boils. This is called Compass Point Blend. He's right next door to me in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And he brought me, I told him I was getting ready to do a boil indoors. I've been asked so many times from people that don't have the big pots, that don't want to cook for a huge crowd, just enough for their family. So I'm going to be showing that real soon, just on your kitchen stove, how to get, I'm talking about perfectly good peeling shrimp with lots of flavor right there on your kitchen stove. That's coming really soon, possibly even next week. I haven't shot a video this week. I did drop a product review earlier this week. Some of y'all might have seen that. I don't know, but I do have other videos coming soon. I do have another product review to do, but I'll probably do two videos that week. I'll drop it, plus I'll have a cooking video. I'm trying to get away from so many of these sponsored videos. And for the record, I'm officially, my contract with ThermoPro is officially over. So you won't be seeing me, you might be see me using it, and I will keep the link in the description because it's a really good affiliate program to have, but you won't hear me talking about it any further. That's over with. Did it for a whole year. So y'all can rest easy. No more commercials. Not on that anyway. We got Jeff in here. What's up, Judge Jeff? Bob Kerner. Who else am I missing? AJ, Ronaldo Hernandez. I said Bat 13, Jenny's Point. Hey, Jenny. I think I got everybody that's commenting anyway. But yeah, I've got a few things in the pipeline that's coming soon. But if y'all got any questions, just ask away because that's really what this is about. Is I don't go live that often, so it's kind of a way that I can connect directly to you live in real time. Truba Train, what's up, man? Nothing much. Like I said, this guy just dropped that off, but he also something I looked high and low for, and so did he. He finally found a good source for it. But I know some of these big boilers that boil crawfish and shrimp and stuff like that, instead of using lemons and lemon peel and stuff like that, they got access to lemon oil. And this is pure lemon oil. And it's 100% lemon oil. You'll be seeing me use that soon. And you add that in there towards the end, like during a cool down, once you're actually soaking. When it's soaking, that's when that goes in. The problem with lemons is that when you squeeze all that juice in there, a lot of times it's hitting that hot steaming water. It's just evaporating as fast as you put it in there. So that's why a lot of times I'll wait to the very end and I'll put the zest in there. And you can taste the lemon by doing it that way. But this oil is way more concentrated and it's going to really give it, and not much of it, not much of it at all. Like for 2 gallons, that's what I'm gonna boil these shrimp. That's enough for 2 gallons of water. I will probably use maybe a teaspoon of that lemon oil. I'll have to figure that one out. All right, T Roy's got a question for smoky ribs barbecue. Do you find that you're working more now than when you were working for demand? I know I am working more since retiring. No, I can't say that I do really, man. I really need to get off my butt and do something. All I'm doing is getting older and fatter. I don't do enough. And I kind of miss being active. And I'm just going to have to force myself to do it. I think what I'm going to do is just start hammering out a lot of videos during the week. And, most of y'all know that I shoot my videos over there at Derek's house. And that might be coming to an end because, be honest with you, YouTube, I don't know what's going on with it, but my views are at an all-time low right now. I've never seen it this bad. I'm getting views now that are comparable to what I got my first year in YouTube. That's just how bad it's getting. And this is all I do between this and Facebook. So I have got to step something up, but it's getting to the point because I paid Derek. He's my cameraman, has been for 7 years. And between both platforms, it's been enough for us to survive on. But he's starting to feel the crunch. And so I think he's got him a job lined out. So it's very possible I'll be going to get all my equipment very soon, or he'll be bringing it to me on a big trailer. And I'll go back to making videos right here in the front yard like I used to. Speaking of front yard, a lot of people ask me, a lot of people have asked me, why do I shoot my front yard? Well, simple answer, I have a garage I keep pits in, or I used to, and I will be again. It doesn't have a back door, so I can't get them in the back unless I've got the big off road wheels and I can roll it around there. So it's just more convenient for me just to shoot right here in the front. All right, same question as DDC. What camera would you recommend for a YouTuber just starting? Just starting? They got really good cameras on these phones nowadays, really good. And I'd use mine in conjunction with my better cameras. And more than likely, you already got that. That's how I started. When I started with an old iPhone 4. It was new then, but it's old by today's standards. Cameras really were terrible then. Audio was terrible, but that's what I started with. And I didn't start moving into better cameras until YouTube could actually pay for it, which took a while. It took years, to eventually get into good cameras. But now I might have to, speaking of cameras, I might have to go back to the kind of cameras I used to use without a cameraman, because we use like the Sony DSLR mirrorless cameras, and we can't run them on automatic because it just screws with it too bad. Light can change abruptly and things like that. So I might be going back to the old Canon camcorder type, but I need some that'll shoot 4K. The ones I used to use only shot in 1080p. So that might be something I'll have to do sooner or later. The Canon G40, is that a camcorder, Troy, or what kind of camera is that? I'm not, only Canons ever on was on camcorders. All you got to do is hit play, man. It was fully automatic, color, everything. I didn't have to adjust nothing. It made life so easy, about like a phone. Yeah, camcorder. Okay, good. I'll check that one out. I used to use the, well, that's what I had, was the G series. I had the G, God, I don't forgot. I had two of them. But the problem with it is they only shot in 1080, but today's cameras do shoot in 4K and above. No 30-minute limit on camcorder. Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. Which, shooting videos with my other cameras, we only do clips that might run 5 to 7 minutes. before editing, and then just more and more clips. We don't keep them on. We turn them on and off as we're shooting. Yeah, G30s and G40s. That's right. I had a G30 and a G40, but my G40 I have wouldn't shoot but nothing but 1080. I've been shooting in 4K now for the last, I know, 2 years, possibly longer. So I don't want to go backwards, but I'm sure they got one out there now that will shoot in 4K. Positive of it. All right. Is there any more questions? Let me scroll back up, y'all. As usual, I suck at this. We got WAP in the house. Let's see. I'm considering getting a second viewing platform when my computer is paid off. My Canon is decent at pit and picture for my second angle. Would you recommend a double yeah, if you're shooting by yourself and no camera guy, camcorder, in my opinion, is the way to go. Because here's the problem with me: if I have to start shooting my own videos, then here's what I got to do. I got to get Tarina outside, say, stand right here. That's where I'm gonna stand. I got to make sure because they do have flip outs, but I've still got to adjust the light and everything. I got to be behind the camera when I do that. So I had to get her in there. I said, just stand there, okay, get everything set. I get the ISO set where I want it. And then I said, okay, get out of the way. Then I'll jump in there. That's how I would have to do it right now, where normally Derek is behind there and he'll say go when he's got it. That's all he does, say go. That means he's up and recording, all the lights dialed in, everything's good. And it's handy, man. It's really been worth paying him all these years to do that because it took a load off of me. Now I will say I'll miss using Sony cameras if I do go over to something else because to me it has a certain look to it. Russ, it's all moving to Rumble. I'm on Rumble. I've been on Rumble. Can't make no money there, man. I do this for a living. And cannot make any money over there. I don't know what the trick is over there, and I don't have the time to fool with it. I mean, I really do, but that answers my question. I have the Canon R50 and could double down with a Canon camcorder. They have 4K ones for about 1200. Yeah, they're expensive. These ones I have are expensive. Just the camera bodies were $600-700, and the lens a lot of times costs more. It's a big investment. That's why I'm saying if you're just start with a phone. Don't start investing a lot of money on something that may or may not work out for you. I edit for you, and the wife wants to know when you are pulling your smoked pork. Do you use vinegar or leave it alone? Wait a minute, let me reread that. Hang on, let me highlight it, Sam. I edit for you. Oh, I love editing. I ain't got no problem editing. Derek doesn't edit. All Derek does is run the cameras. He knows how to edit. Okay, and the wife wants to know when you are pulling your smoked pork. You talking about pulling it off the pit? I'll pull it when it's probe tender. I mean, really tender for like pulled pork or chopped pork. Either one, I get it really tender. And the only way to really know that is to probe into it and tell. You'll know when it's super tender when that probe just falls through it. And do you use vinegar or leave it alone? Sometimes I spritz with a little bit of vinegar and bourbon, or sometimes vinegar and water. Sometimes just water. It just depends. No particular reason why. Sometimes I do it different. Experimenting. Yeah, GoPros. I've actually considered that, man, because I know a guy. That's all he uses. That's all he's ever used, and they have great pictures, and it's all 4K. Maybe you can get your cousin Russ to film for you. Yeah, maybe. More than likely, he'll have to, Randy. More than likely. All right, any more questions up in here? Thanks for sharing your delicious recipes with us. Oh, you're welcome, man. I enjoy it as much today as I did the day I learned about YouTube and that you could actually do this. It's just such a passion of mine. Always has been, which I've always loved to cook. I was a kid in the backyard at 12 years old, popping up a pup tent and trying to cook over an open fire in the backyard. That was me. I did watch my mother a lot, and that's how I learned how to do things. Or am I still looking for car tags? Uh, I would say yes, but if I end up having to shoot over here, then I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these tags because all my subscribers have sent them. I got to set up something. Maybe I'll fence off a thing with some 6 foot wood and put them all over that and shoot inside that right here in the front yard. Just kind of box in with a 6 foot high fence. So yeah, man, that's up to you if you want to send me one. But my email address, if you go to my about page right here on YouTube and go to my about page, you'll find my email address. You got to click. You got to click a box saying you're not a robot or anything like that, and then it'll give you my email. And then if you'll shoot me an email, I can shoot you the address to send it to. Simplistic barbecue, just jumping in. Nice beard, Russ. Appreciate it, man. It's just now really starting to fill out again. I can't never make up my mind. I grow this goatee longer and longer, then I get tired of it. I'm like, God, that looks crappy. So my wife likes it like this, so I think I'll leave it for a while. Who did you take out for your senior prom? No one. I didn't go to no prom, man. Great memories for me. I had 3 dates. No, I didn't go to no prom. Let's see here. What's up, Rick? Who am I missing in here? Cord Bradley, thanks for sharing. Okay, I've already read that. Having to scroll back up, guys. Uh, Trumpet Master, he films in his front yard too. I have shot some in the backyard prior to going over to Mobile where Derek's got that back porch set up. But like I said, it had to be with pits that I could get back there because most of the stuff I've had in the past had small wheels and you can't get it in the grass. You know, you had to come off the concrete, roll it around the back, and just wasn't possible. Some of y'all might remember that video I did quite a few years ago where I got the off-road package for that offset Lone Star Grills offset, and I hooked it to my wife's zero turn lawnmower and actually pulled it around back, showing off them new wheels. Studs responsibly. Alrighty, fellas, I got to head off to work. Night shift. Oh Lord, man. Well, have a good one. We film in the front yard on our park grill. There you go. I like that park grill, man. I wouldn't mind getting one of them at some point. Oh well, I was hoping one of the guys I sent the invite to would have popped in here. Mike with Everyday Barbecue said he might would. He has some things going on. I know he's getting ready to do some elote corn, street corn, and he might just be too busy. So no biggie. Do I have a favorite barbecue sauce for pork? Not really. I mean, I'll show different sauces on my channel, but I'm not much of a sauce guy unless it's for like a sandwich. Pulled pork would be one of them. I would use a sauce. That what was that? That bottoms up? Not bottoms up. I forgot the name of the company. Mike's the one that turned me on to it. They had some really good sauce, but I've had a lot of good sauces. I can't think of one in particular right now. But the sauce I got from Bartolini's is really good. I mean, fantastic. But the only way to buy that is through their website. Bartolini's is actually a restaurant in Chicago, and they go through that Gold Belly, and that stuff is just out of sight expensive. I don't know how they sell anything at the prices that they have to charge through that company. You know, it's ridiculous. But he gave me a case of his sauces when I was up there in Memphis in May. There were two different kinds. There was a raspberry habanero, and then there was pineapple and something mango. I think it was good. Glenn and Shannon Salty Live. Hey Russ, enjoying the temps here on the coast. Am I enjoying it? Heck no. It is screaming hot, man. I'm ready for some cool air. I am ready for some cool air. Hello from Northeast Alabama. I've been up through that area plenty of times, not lately, but through the years. I've been through more places of Alabama than I have in Mississippi, to be honest with you, more often. Hot as a four bald tomcat. For sure, for sure. Anthony Bravo, did you get my message? Uh Today? Was it an email message? I don't see nothing. Anthony Bravo, what message, what platform, email? I'm a little lost there, which is nothing new. I'm always a little lost. If you don't believe me, ask Trina. Speaking of Trina, she made me some more of her pecan brittle last night. I'm trying my best to stay out of it, just a piece here and there. But the reason I had her make it, I'm getting ready to try something in my freeze dryer. I actually seen it online. The people are taking like peanut brittle, and she makes a salted caramel pecan brittle that is just crazy good. But they freeze dried it and turn it into like little puffs. It'd be like pecan or peanut brittle puffs for people with bad teeth and stuff like that that can't really chew peanut brittle. They could easily eat this with that burst of flavor. So I'm gonna try that, see how that turns out. And I was telling her, and she got kind of excited. I said, you can buy those fancy Mylar bags from Amazon with the little windows and the scroll work and all that. And you could pack these up, after we do them and sell it, put oxygen absorber, sell it, and you could create an Etsy store and sell the fire out of this stuff. And I don't want to do it, but she can do it. She's the one making the stuff. She could just do it all. It only takes 3 hours to do candy, on a freeze dryer. Ray Mac, what's up, man? Russ Jones, you're the man. Check on rocking your one on the best on buddy. I ain't never been number one for one thing, and I'm getting lost in the shuffle big time. I'm here to tell you, it ain't nothing like it used to be, or at least it isn't right now. And I say this every year. Something about July and August, man, it just plummets on views. And my views usually start picking up around the holiday seasons, around Thanksgiving, Christmas. Those months right in there usually do good, but I don't know. We'll see what this year brings. But I've got to get some videos out for that this year. I didn't do it last year. Now I'm paying for it, I guess. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep on rocking as much as I can, man. I'm not getting no younger. I turned 65 in December, and can't prevent that. It's going to happen to all of us. What else we got? It's about time to get some green peanuts. Yes. Matter of fact, last Sunday, we were scheduled to do green peanut boil. I was going to do it with Keith Jenkins. He was coming down here. I was going to go to my youngest son's house where my pots are at and do it. But he had to bail out on me last Friday. He said, I ain't going to be able to make it. So if I can get my hands on some, they should be popping up around here. Then I might do that myself. Matter of fact, I know I will. It's been a long time since I've done a video on it. Long time. Where can I get a t-shirt with my logo? You would have to go if you go to any of my recent videos and look in the description box, you'll see my email address, or you can go to my about page and email me, and I will put you in contact with Lance Buell. He's also a YouTuber, but he does all of my embroidery. He does my hats, my smoke ribs hats. He can do t-shirts. He can do like towels, like you would hook to your side when you're cooking with our logos. He does this work for a lot of YouTubers, not just me. And he's very fair. He does a good job. So if you're interested in a shirt, I'll put you in contact with him if you don't know who he is. And that's to anybody listening. I don't get anything out of it. It was just a deal I made for Lance because he invested all this money into this embroidery equipment. And I've had people ask me, just like you did, where can I get a shirt or where can I get a hat? So now I can say, I'll put you in contact with this man here. And I told him, I said, I don't want a dime from it. Just keep whatever profit you can make off of it. And it's your deal. And I'll just donate my logos because it gives me a way of, getting it to you without directly getting it to you. There you go, right there, Randy. Appreciate it. That's Lance's email, that Buell's Fern at Comcast.net. You can email him directly and tell him what you're interested in, what color, what size, what logo. He's got a couple of my logos. What's up, AJ? Yeah, Stitch Art Embroidery. That's his company name. Uh, is Lance in here? I don't think I've seen Lance. Let me scroll back up here a little bit. Okay, I read that one about the peanuts. But yeah, you're right, man. I've been wanting some good boiled peanuts. My wife works at a convenience store up here. It's a Chevron station with a convenience store, and they got these peanuts in a crock pot that you spoon them out, put them in one of them little styrofoam cups. Well, she'll clean it out at nighttime, and she'll bring me whatever's left. And they just cannot compare to what you can do yourself with fresh, out of the ground, green peanuts. That's the hardest part of doing a video. You got to explain to people that they have to be, for the cooking process I'm going to show, they have to be green and fresh. They can't be raw peanuts. Raw peanuts are green peanuts that have been dried, completely dried, kind of like dried beans, even though they still have the shell on them. And they take a long time to get tender if you're going to boil them. I'm talking about 24 plus hours. Then you got to let them soak forever too. So we always wait for the green peanuts. You can boil them for like 3 hours, soak them for 3 hours. You're good. I've still got a gallon bag left from last year. Might get into them this week. And there you go, man. You got me wanting some more. There's Sleeper Barbecue. That's Lance right there for who asked about the t-shirt. Sleeper Barbecue is his YouTube channel. How you doing, Lance? Fried, what's it? Fried shrimp and salad, but I've made it. Oh, okay. Smoky Ribs Barbecue. Have you cooked anything with that Australian? No, I have not. I have not figured out what to use it on. I'm scared to use it. Just the word pine just scares me, man. But you said on an open fire, it perfumes it good. So I'm definitely going to try it. But when I do, I'll probably have to do it on that pits and spits with it open, like just grilling something. I will be using it though. You can bet on that. What's up, Scotty? No, I have not used it. Matter of fact, it's right up under this little sofa right behind me. I got it right up under there in the same box you sent it in. But I will. I'll get around to it. Promise. That guy that come by here earlier, name is Nick. He gave me a bunch of samples of stuff he's coming out with too. I hadn't even looked at them. This is a crawfish bowl. The biggest difference, these are little samples, but the biggest difference between his boil and the seafood and crab boil is that he said this has more salt because crawfish need more salt because they're not living in salt water. And that made total sense to me. So he's got a specific crawfish boil where most of the boils you get are seafood, crab, or crawfish, and they're salty. So he purposely limited the amount of sodium in this, but still enough to where that flavor really comes through. Let's see. This is a sweet barbecue. Okay, that's one that he made this for a butcher shop right up the road. It's called Sweet Barbecue for Butcher on Tucker. That's the name of that butcher shop, Butcher on Tucker, Compass Point. Nick and Casey Hartley. They do have a website too, www. And I have not tried this. I just got it today, but it will be coming soon. Gave me a sticker. He's got his own SPG here: salt, pepper, garlic, lemon, basil, and Creole. Man, I'm looking forward. He's got more in here, but I don't want to bore you with all that. Well, any more questions out there? We've been going 30 minutes. What's up, NBL? How many we got in here? We got 47 watching. Yeah, I do a little bit of that myself. Got it. Not really mix it into the final thing, unless it's like a Carolina style. But it's what we do is take that Texas Pete hot sauce and mix it 50-50 with apple cider vinegar. Then whatever seasoning you use, put a little bit of that seasoning in there and heat it up. And once we pull our pork, we'll run that into the meat itself and fold it all into it and mix it up real good. When we build a sandwich, we put a little bit more right on top. That's some good stuff. 50-50. What I say? The hot sauce, Texas Pete. That's a Carolina hot sauce, even though it says Texas Pete. And I mix that with apple cider vinegar or just plain white distilled vinegar. Either one works. Phil Marcel, I've been watching your show for a year now. Awesome, man. Appreciate that. I've been doing it a little over 11 years. Last month was my 11th year anniversary. Things have changed so much on YouTube since some days. When I started, there was no live feeds, there was no shorts. I wish you'd go back to that. I'm about over them shorts. I know a lot of people like them, but as a creator, from a creator standpoint, you can't make no money with it. I mean, yeah, they're fun to watch and they're easy to make. It's just, what's the point? From my perspective. Now I do them on Facebook, but that actually makes a little change, so I don't mind doing them over there. Randy Russ, and unhighlight that comment so we can see you. Oh, my bad. I got to go back to it. Let me just click on one of these, then hide that. Okay, is that better? I suck at this, Randy. I can't help it. Well, I don't have nobody hopped on the into the basement here. There's beer and barbecue by Larry. What's up, Larry? He's probably done gone. He commented that 3 minutes ago. I watch him live. He makes homemade beer a lot. I mean, he does all kind of stuff, but beer is one of his fortes that he's really good at, and I enjoy watching the process. I've never done it. All right, there he is. He's still in here. Good deal, man. But yeah, a lot of fun to watch. I thought about getting into that myself back in the past, but nah, just never have. That's the only problem with these YouTube channels, man. You got, especially when you're working a full time job, which I don't anymore. But when I did, I had to work and overtime and all that, then try to get a video out. It didn't leave time for nothing else, learning new things. It just really didn't. I could now, I suppose. I'm scanning the comments, people. Let's see. Hey, Russ from Sheffield, England. Been watching you for years. Wish we barbecued half as good as you do over here. You can, man. There's shouldn't be no difference. Just if there's anything in particular I can help you with, let me know. I'm open. I mean, you could do it in this chat, or if you want to send me an email, you can do that. I get emails all the time. People that are doing like crawfish bowls or seafood bowls, and they're doing it for a large crowd. And how much of this do I need? How much of that do I need? And I answer them, to the best of my ability. I personally don't cook for that amount of people, but I know how much of what goes in per gallon of water. So all you got to do is multiply it. I actually got a moonshine still simplistic barbecue, but I didn't get it to make shine. I'm actually going to do a video here soon and show how to take not just salt water, but any kind of water, rainwater, water out of your ditch, whatever, and just simply distill it to where you can drink it, you know? I know that's kind of far fetched from what I normally do, but I've got to still, so I've got to do a video using it, and it's the best thing I can come up with. I wouldn't trust myself making any kind of liquor because I've never done it, and I know they got that first run, then they got the heart of it, and then the tails, and that first part can make you go blind. And no, I'm not even going there. I'll just keep buying it. Thinking of doing reverse sear with some foil pouches to give a little grill flavor. Okay, let me hang on. Let me read this. Let me highlight it. I got to do 2 tri-tips on my buddy's gas grill Sunday. That's all he has. Thinking of doing reverse sear with some foil pouches to give a little grill flavor. Is there a better way on a gasser? Uh, I don't know if he has a smoke box or anything, or if you got a smoke tube. If you want to add a little bit of smoke flavor into there, you could do that. Add a little bit of smoke and just do it indirect. Have some of your burners turn off to where you can let it off the side. Just get your pit up to temp and do a reverse sear, just like you said. But put a little smoke wood in there. That's something I think of that might improve it. Just a little smoke flavor. Outdoors in Maryland, you two had hang on, let me hide Troy before Randy gets on me. Yeah, heads and tails, that's it. And I just don't trust myself. I would have to be there and watch somebody that's done it plenty before I would trust myself with that. But at any rate, I do have one. Randy says I can make liquor in a still. It ain't hard. I built my copper still, thumper, and worm just by watching the TV shows. Yeah, I watched all them shows, but still, man, I'd be a nervous cat actually taking a sip of some of that for the first time, not knowing if I would have to learn more about it. That's just me. Full pouches with pellets is what I'm thinking to give some smoke. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. You could do that too. Absolutely. I've done that. Put them in a full pouch, pop some holes in it, and just let it sit there and throw some smoke in there. Absolutely. We heading crabbing tomorrow. Man, I miss doing that kind of stuff. I really do. I used to love to crab. That was my favorite pastime. And we didn't go on a boat. We just went off the piers with these nets that collapse when they hit the bottom, and we'd catch the fire out of them crabs. Right now's the time to get them too, man. Here, anyway. All right. Apple pie shine is a fun hobby. I bet. When I hear apple pie shine, I think of that show Justified. If I knew I could save money, I'd make my own home brew. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably end up spending way more than what beer would actually cost me to buy. Yeah, I bet it is, Sam. Sam saying beer is fun to make. It's definitely fun to drink. Russ, what's next on the menu? I'm missing a lot of questions, guys. Um, Next, all right. I'm either going to do this shrimp now that I got this seasoning, or I love doing copycat type recipes. I've just always have, and it's just I don't know. I think I enjoy the research in it and trying to really get as close as I can. Y'all might remember I did that Taco Bell Mexican pizza video last winter. Man, I freaking nailed that thing. That Baltimore pit beef, I bet I researched that 3 months before I finally executed, and I nailed that. I've never eaten chaps, but it had to be the same. It just had to be. If it wasn't, I don't care. It was still really good. But what I'm doing next is a McDonald's item, the McRib, which I personally can't stand. I don't like them, never have. They just, Now I did do something years ago. I didn't have the bun like the McRib because I didn't want it to be a McRib. I didn't call it a McRib. I called it a boneless rib sandwich. And I took real ribs and I kind of sliced down the bones before I ever started and cooked them to where they had a good bite, but not just too mushy. I can't stand mushy ribs. And then pulled them bones out and I did it that way. But what I'm doing on this is actually going to be the way that McDonald's does it, where they take pork butt and they grind it up, and the only two ingredients in the meat, actually they got three, but I'm only using two. They use salt, they use dextrose, which is nothing but like a sugar derived from corn or wheat, and it's about half as sweet as regular sugar, and it's used mainly just to kind of offset the salt a little bit. Can be used as a preservative somewhat, but that's not what it's for in that particular item. What they do use is a preservative to maintain that flavor is rosemary oil. They use rosemary oil, which is a preservative. They also use rosemary oil in their McNuggets. It's all the stuff you can learn when you go to researching, man. So I'm doing that, and I got a mold coming where you actually make the mold where it looks like it's got bones in it, and I'm gonna try to duplicate it exactly. That's coming soon. I've got a let's see, hang on. All right, Troy B. I admit it. I'm one of those people that has to get a McRib every time they came out. I need help. I don't know, man. I can't. They just kind of disgusting to me. That meat. It's just, I guess, because it's real meat, but it just don't. It looks like a rib, but it don't have the texture of a rib at all. But regardless, I'm doing it. Glenn and Shannon Salter Live, laugh loud, laughing out loud. Don't care for those. I have figured out how to make a crystal burger that doesn't give you indigestion on the Blackstone. I love crystal burgers. I like them little onion burgers. They're kind of similar, actually. It ain't nothing but thin pressed meat, lots of onions, pickles, mustard. I'm good, man. I could eat four of them things back to back. I work for Hormel. I know all about the rosemary and dextrose. I hear you. Oh, let's see. What else we got up here? Scotty Russ, buy the book, Top Secret Recipes, full of copy. Oh yeah, I've got those, man. I've had them for years. But right here in this cabinet, I got all kind of books. I had two of them out. I had two out the other day. I'll thumb through stuff like this just to inspire me, just to give me some ideas. That's just one. And I live right here in Biloxi, so I've got three different volumes of these old Biloxi recipes right here. These are actual. A lot of these actually came from restaurants out of this area, from restaurants that closed many years ago due to hurricanes or whatever. Let's see. Yeah, well, sometime have to get two. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, I'll eat them. They're not that bad. It's just I think what I'm gonna make is much better. I'm not using the rosemary oil because I don't need it. It's preservative. They actually put these things in a mold and they freeze them so they can ship them all over the creation wherever they got McDonald's at, and they stay frozen. They cook them in a frozen state. They got a sandwich press, kind of like the one I own, and they put it on there and they close the lid on it, and that's how they cook them. And it kind of sears that riblet look it's got to it. I'm not doing that. I've got a press, but I'm more than likely I'm going to use the griddle on the pits and spits. So I got only because most people's not going to have a press like that. I want to show them how to do it on a griddle, which means it can also be done in a cast iron skillet, which pretty much everybody's got. Would you use rosemary if you were sucking on a chili dog? I know a lot of people don't get that, but Randy did a live Monday and he named it Sucking on a Chili Dog. That was the theme of his live show. So, in case you're wondering, grilling addiction with Nick. What's going on, man? Oh, but I'm in Chicago and the McRib is considered high end barbecue. Jenny's Point, Smoky Ribs Barbecue. Which is your favorite, summer or fall? Fall, winter, and spring. I hate summer cooking. It's miserable. I sweat. The flies are everywhere. I despise this time of the year. It's my least favorite time of the year. And my wife is just opposite. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. I don't know why, because she keeps his air running at 69 degrees. It's like, geez. But no, matter of fact, I was just saying, views go down for me in the summer months. Well, not so much in June, but July and August into September. And so I don't do my best stuff in the summer months. That's when I will focus on reviews and stuff like that, because I know I bred grill, and here I am saying it. But that's when I say my best content for later on in the year, where I know I'll get better views, if that makes sense. I'm sure I'm not the only one that experiences that downfall this time of the year. Yeah, don't let it. All right, guys. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to copy this link. I'm gonna put it in here for anybody that wants to join. All I ask now, if I don't know you, and I've made this mistake once before, I let somebody in that I didn't know. I guess he was a subscriber, but he was teetotally wasted. And so if I don't know who you are, I'm not going to let you up on a panel. I don't pay for StreamYard, so I can only have up to 6. So, but don't get offended if I don't let you in. It's only because I don't know you. And you got to kind of respect that, because there's a lot of trolls out there that would love an opportunity to jump in there and wreak havoc or whatever. But so anyway, enough of that. Paste. There's a link if anybody wants to join in. Don't look like none of my buddies had time. But I got other buddies. Sam says, I will be sending Russ a snake head to cook hopefully soon. That'd be awesome, man. Snap and turtle soup. I just did snap and turtle sauce piquant, which is basically the same thing. Malcolm Reed or ballistic barbecue. Uh, Greg is actually what's up, Lance?
What's up, Mr. Russ?
Oh man, not much. Somebody's asked me Malcolm Reed, or I like them both. I watch both their videos, but me and Greg kind of have a bond. And I have met Malcolm and I have met Greg, but me and Greg, we talk on the phone a lot. We go back to when I first started. He was doing it before me. And I've been knowing Greg for 11 years. We talk pretty regular. So
Pudding tank. I remember my mom always saying that. I'm sorry, Russ. I thought you were finished talking.
Oh no, I was just saying I would have to pick Greg between the two, but I like both of them. Don't take that the wrong way.
My mom used to always say, "Pudding tank. Ask me again, I'll tell you the same."
Yeah. And for who was that asking about the T-shirt? This is Lance. This is the guy that does their embroidery. If you can see behind him, he's got all these logos. That's different channels logos.
Samples. I was just reading Sam's reply about the snakehead. I I had a short, very brief contact with a guy that does some snakehead fishing, and he says that the grass is just too tall, to get them to catch them right now. But I want to try. I want to go out at least once. I've watched tons of videos on them, did a little bit of reading about them, just to be one more thing, checked off the bucket list. But I agree with you. I prefer to go out and do some bass fishing, but snakehead looks like it's a challenge. It looked like it'd be fun landing one, but that's why I asked you about the Delmarva, because either just happened or it's getting ready to happen. Another snakehead competition up there.
I've never seen one because they're not native of here. They're like a import, right? That just showed up here.
I see Kyle. What's up, Kyle?
What's up, Kyle?
Yes, Kyle. They are. I have about 2 pound in the freezer currently. I just saw it because I was trying to find out something. Found this recipe that I want to try, and I want to see what pork I had in there. Um, but yes, it's very white, flaky. Um, it's I don't know what to even compare it to. I mean, Sam's in here still, I think, but I'd probably say, um, man, I don't know. I mean, it's not even. I mean, a nice striper, that sort of can be flaky, but um, snakehead just has a texture of its own. It doesn't have the fishy taste to it. For the people that don't like, that fishy taste, but it's good stuff. Good stuff. Coddish, um, not. I wouldn't. Well, you know what? That probably would be a pretty good comparison. Kyle would be the codfish. Actually, probably would be a pretty good comparison there. But back to you, Russ.
Oh, that's good. Phil Marcel, that was the one asking about the T-shirt. And Randy did put your. I'm gonna cut this other screen off because it's distracting me. But
Yeah, I
that's
saw Randy and Jeff did both. If you don't mind, I'll just go ahead and
yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna stop
have
my
a.
cam for a minute. I'm gonna show the shirt you did for Quint Nelson. I meant yeah, Quint Nelson.
I just shipped out today, or I'd have a bunch of other stuff. Um,
This is that
yeah,
is one of the shirts he did. Now that's not embroidery. That is what
yeah,
that is embroidery. Wow,
yeah.
that is embroidery. But you have the ability to do that other type T-shirt now.
Sublimation. Yeah, I've got all the equipment sitting over here that left me, but I just haven't got everything together yet. But
So
I didn't. This was another example. These are koozies that we're doing. They're actually embroidered, not a sublimation. These are real embroidered stuff.
yeah, wow. I don't think I've ever seen an embroidered koozie before until
Yeah,
you started doing that.
we have some of them going out. Kyle has bought a number of them. Randy, I tell you, Randy, I think Randy's probably, I don't know, he's probably bought 10 and shipped out in the past couple few weeks. But um, I appreciate you, Mr. RXTX. Do appreciate you, Kyle. Appreciate you the same. Sam, getting back to him about the Old Bay and butter. Man, there's a place in Solomon's Island that does snakehead bites, and I would absolutely love to find out what that batter is. But yes, they have a like an Old Bay butter dipping sauce, and my God, it's so good.
That sounds good. I love Old Bay, man. We have all the Cajun flavors down here, but one thing we've always had also is Old Bay. It's always been on the shelves all of my life, and my mom used to buy it and do things with it, and for years until before YouTube, and I think I actually did it on YouTube when I would boil shrimp. I would put our Cajun seasons in there, but I'd put a whole container of that Old Bay in there too because it pairs well with it.
From Sweden. We got all kinds of people in here, Russ.
Hello, Sweden.
I haven't had
Uh, I
a,
will
haven't
be having a logo for shirts real soon. I will definitely contact. Yeah, he does great work, Sam. Let me show you these towels.
Russ hats
Let's see.
right
Stop.
here. In fact, yeah, the towels are a big item. I'm taking over.
I've got all these mixed together, but he's got these towels right here that he can put logos on. There's another one there. I'm not doing a very good example here. There's Daddy Dutch barbecue, his pig right there. I've got some of mine. No, I think I got mine in my duffel bag for when I go to shoot videos. There's one of mine right there. Oh, come on. You turn around there. But yeah. Those handy. And they come with a hook that you can hook to your belt loop to like wear it on your side. Pretty cool.
So, what was your? Did I miss the reasoning for you? What's up, brother Steven? Did I miss the reason for you going live? Was there a reason? I assumed, but or did you
For
just
me,
want to go live? Yeah, or
it
did you
was
just want
just
to
a
go live?
Q&A, man. Just kind of touch base with some of my subs and stuff. And
But I read your your community post the other day.
oh, that was about after a couple of years of debating whether or not I should have memberships.
Yeah,
In light of YouTube just really taking a dive lately, I decided to
yeah,
go ahead and do it.
yeah,
And, I'm not going to promote it a lot. I'm not going to push it. It's there. If anybody wants to do it, it's totally up to them. And I have had people, I used to have a PayPal link in my description. I ended up taking that out a long time ago. But for people, I've had people ask, did they want to donate or how could they donate, And so this gives them one way, and YouTube, they try to figure every angle that you can make money. That's one thing they do for creators, and there are different things, and I think I participate in all of them, you know, uh, everything, ways of doing it. Of course, our biggest income comes from ad revenue. So when the views go down, the money goes down. So you got to kind of offset that any way you can. Better go get another job,
yeah.
whatever comes first.
I'm sorry, I got a
But yeah,
question.
I did. I turned memberships on, and all I'm gonna do, if I have anybody that's becomes members, I'm gonna take all the footage, and we do shoot a lot of footage. I'm gonna take the footage I don't use in my videos, like boo boos, mistakes, bloopers, whatever you want to call them. Then I'll be running those. Like just it's not gonna make no sense. It's gonna be chopped up just one scene to the next. Some will be funny, some will just show you stuff you will never see any other way. Because I usually dump that kind of
So,
footage. What's up, Sal?
SJ,
I don't want Patreon, Randy.
hello,
I've
hello.
tried that. I can do the same thing on one platform. I can do it on YouTube and be done with it, and all from that. And also, if I get enough members in there, I would probably do a weekly live for members only, where it's really one on one,
Yeah.
with the people that support you the most, and and do that because on a public, like public live, I only do that. Y'all know I do that maybe twice a year, if even that. And I should take advantage of it more than I do, I reckon, but I just don't. But in a case like that, I would just set probably Fridays, every Friday, just to have like a membership live. But as of right now, it's no big deal to me, and we'll see where it goes, if anywhere. If it don't, if I'll try it 6 months. If it's not worth it, I'll just remove it. I'm not worried about it.
Does Russ? Hello, by the way. I know I didn't say anything. I was trying to check if my
Uh,
voice was coming in or not. But I'm curious. Does YouTube make that easy to for members? For YouTube member, does it make it easy to say, I want to do a live for just my members so they could see it, or how
yeah,
does that
yeah.
work?
Once you turn that on, if you post something in a community page,
Hmm.
you can do it for members only.
Yeah.
Like I
Okay.
posted twice in there yesterday on two little video clips. One is a blooper reel I made about 5, 6 years ago, and
Okay.
it's pretty funny. And all I did was sewed a bunch of pieces together from a video, all my mistakes, and it might be a little risque actually, but not too bad. And that was one of them. Then the second one was just from this last video. It was just random footage, kind of like we showed, or in that video, I was going to show how a regular chamber vac sucks the juice out of whatever it is you're trying to pull a vacuum on. Well, we put it in his machine, Derek's machine, which I bought about a year ago. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the machine. I think he was hitting the wrong buttons because he hadn't used it in a while. Well, it sealed the bag, but it never pulled a vacuum on it. I'm like, well, crap, we can't use that. So I didn't even show it. I just talked about it instead. Little things like that. I did the 4 jars. I pulled a vacuum on them. Well, one of them didn't seal. And you didn't see that in the video, but you'll see it on the behind the scenes. I picked it up and I went, oh crap, that one didn't seal. And what it
Huh.
was, I had some of that rub on the edge. I forgot to wipe it off. So we wiped it off, did it again, it pulled down no problem, you know. But you didn't see that. It's things
Yeah.
that you don't see is the kind of stuff I'll let members see, you know.
Yeah, I remember the video. You did wipe down the jars, and then put
Yeah.
them in there. But
Yeah, you got to wipe that jar off, even if you're canning. That's something you got to do, you know. But I
You got
forgot.
a question up there, Russ. I don't know if you see it from a David Summerlin. I think it's a question on Old Hickory.
Russ, I am wanting an old hickory. Haven't seen any videos on it. What? Wait a minute.
Is it smaller than your pit?
Let me highlight that one so I can. Russ, I'm wanting an old hickory, JW. Haven't seen any videos on it. It's smaller than your. Okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Wanted my thoughts. The best I remember, that one is the one like for. I don't think it's gas assist. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But as far as matter of fact, I left this on a comment today. Old Hickory, I don't care if you're getting. They only have a few residential models. Most of their pits, and they have over 21 different models, are big, huge double door commercial pits for restaurants and all. But their smaller pits are made with the same quality, same parts, same everything. So when you get one of those residential pits, you're getting the same quality. They're high dollar. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. But man, I absolutely love that one I had, the Ultra Q. And I never thought I'd say this in a million years because I have been such an advocate for offset smokers, and I still am. I love them. But this has the same flavor. I would say even better, just the way it lays that smoke on there. But it's got the convenience of a pellet grill because it's thermostatically controlled. It maintains the temperature. You don't have to feed it logs. You can put one split in there and get hours and hours and hours off that one split. Whereas an offset, you would be burning splits up left and right, getting through that cook. And now you can also turn the gas off and you can use it with charcoal and wood combination. That's another way you can do it. Matter of fact, the next time I use it, that's probably what I'm going to do because I haven't showed that yet, just to show you the results from just using charcoal wood, you know.
So I'm going to try to beat everybody else in here to a question. So is there a way? I mean, my biggest thing about the membership stuff is that the amount of money that they just take away from you. Is there a way to like create a membership, but use maybe like a Cash App or something like that, or a PayPal?
Maybe you get 70%. I read all that. When somebody gives you $1, you get 70 cents, which is not a bad deal considering it's their platform that's doing all this. You got to give them something, you know. But if it wasn't for YouTube, wouldn't none of us we wouldn't be here right now, you know. So I don't haggle too much over that. You know, it is what it is, whether it be a super chat or whatever. Ooh, Quint Nelson is my first member. Thank you, Quint.
I should have known he
Awesome,
jumped
Yeah.
in. I should
Number
have
one
known.
right there.
His name comes out all fancy and everything.
All right, Quint, if
highlighted
you're my
people.
only member, then we're going to do a membership only live every Friday, week from today. And I don't know, I'm not quite sure how you get notified, but I know I can put it into the community for members only. So,
Yeah.
heck yeah, man.
It's
You just made me
30
feel
cents on
better
it.
about it.
I
Huh?
guess if you look at it as $1, I mean, I would agree. But I mean, if you're looking at it like $20 out of 50, I mean, you know, that's to me a little different. But I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a platform. You got to pay for something.
Yeah.
But I was
yeah,
thinking that there's because there are other channels that do the Cash App or PayPal, you know, tickers at the bottom of the screen,
Right.
so that at least you get, you know, the full amount, unless your PayPal's
Yeah.
taking a percentage of it.
I think a lot of it, Lance, it's convenience too. You have to think of the viewer. Sometimes they don't want to, open up a Cash App or PayPal. They might just, just find it smoother to just go through Google.
Yeah,
You
because
just
they're
have
already
to
on
kind
the
of
platform. You don't
they're
have
already, yeah. Otherwise, you got them, logging in and in order to give you money, and then you have to kind of keep track of that. So I would
That's the
think,
thing. If you've ever spent money and gave somebody a super chat, Google remembers your payment method unless that card is expired or something. Then you have to redo it.
Yeah.
But as long as it's not expired, when you do a super chat, bam, 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 you're done. You don't have to leave the platform and go do this and go do that. You know.
On because I use PayPal to do a super chat. So when I click on super chat on the phone,
Turn
I
your
have
volume up
to.
a little bit, Simon,
I'm
or I'll
sorry.
do it for you.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm a little bit further away right now. So
You're on automatic. I'm gonna jack you up a little bit.
right.
I don't
I'm
think
usually closer because I'm usually in my room. I'm on the kitchen table right now.
All right. I think I can hear you better now. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So when I pay a super chat with oh, this is Randy.
Thank you, Randy. Dadgummit.
When I do a super chat, I have it set up through my PayPal, and it'll come up automatically on the phone. I just gotta double tap the button over here to send the payment.
Okay.
So it's like you don't have to leave anything, but it is one more extra step, you know.
I got you. Yeah, a lot of people might not know to do that, but it's either way, it's really up to the
Yeah.
person. You know.
By the way, I just thought you were cheap, but apparently I'm cheaper than you.
You're cheaper than me, man.
But you are older than me.
Oh, come on now.
I am older than Lance. I got him about
How much
what
again?
is it, 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
2 months. 2 months.
2 months. Okay.
December versus February.
I'll join if you make the jambalaya rolls again. Well, heck yeah, man. I can do that. I need to revisit that anyway. That video did pretty good for way back then because I didn't have a lot of subs back when I did that, and it still did pretty good. A lot of people out of Louisiana seen that. I'm like, how did that get out so quick to Louisiana? And there was a lot of people starting to try it because they never done it before. And since then, now people do like boudin egg rolls and stuff like that, you know. But I used to make those for work years ago and sell them. I bring them into work and sell them. Is like you can make any kind of jambalaya you like, seafood, chicken sausage, whatever, and make it. And then you put in egg roll wraps and you deep fry it. Delicious. Russ, you need to break out that pink wig again. No, not today anyway.
Russ, have you ever redone old videos before?
I have a few times. I really need to do more of them. I redid my red beans and rice, New Orleans style red beans and rice. I did it twice, and both times it did pretty good. You know, it's a decent video.
Yeah, because I haven't been around for too long on YouTube, but I already feel like some of those older ones that I posted, I could do such a much better job. You know, I almost feel like redoing like one or two of them.
There we go.
That's me too, man. I do things way different than I did then, just naturally morphing over the time, and I would do a better job today compared to back then, more than likely, you know.
Yeah.
You're welcome, by the way, Russ. If
What?
it hadn't been me talking about that community post.
Man, yeah, thank you, Lance. Thank you, Scotty. I guess, hang on, let me put this on my little to-do list. I've got a note in here, and it's called, well, I was just on it. It's called Video Ideas.
Lance should get some of that 30%.
Yeah,
I knew I liked you.
egg rolls. All right. Consider it done. Tell you what, I'm gonna break up this freeze dryer again here soon too. I want to freeze dry some shrimp. I want to go ahead and boil them and get that flavor in them, then freeze dry them and use that for like sauces or like even in a gumbo to add more seafood flavor, you know, or you could make a stock out of it. You could do all kind of things with it.
In Mexico, they dry the shrimp in spice in like chilies and salt and use them as a snack for like drinking beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, them old days might be returning, Scotty. I was talking about that earlier. It depends on. I know he's got the job, so more than likely you'll be seeing me shoot here more times than not coming up real soon, which is no big deal. Most people kind of like that. I was told that, like, man, we miss some days when you were shooting in your front yard and he was like one of the guys. I'm still one of the guys. I'm just on Derek's back porch. It looks a little better. It's blocking the sun. The sun's not beating us to death. So, but I do have to drive over there every time. That's kind of a pain.
You need a chauffeur?
Folks, some jambalaya rolls are killer. I make them every Super Bowl. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I used to bring them into work, like I said, to sell them, but I also bring them in at Christmas time just to hand out to everybody. Man, people, they'd wipe them out. In the old days, Russ had a chisel text. Oh, man. Funny.
Oh, that came from Sleeper, huh?
For real.
Dude, hey, did you see his head down? He was smiling.
Yeah.
You could tell when he was typing it out.
Almost see them low double horn coming out of his mouth.
Thank you, John. He goes, I am older than all of you, Russ. First time in a live chat. You are the best at what you do. Man, thank you. Appreciate that. That sounds a lot compared to all the creators out there,
Yeah, a great comment.
Yes,
Very
it
true.
is.
If it wasn't for Russ, I wouldn't be in the barbecue. I hung it up. I got tired of burning up stuff and drying it out. And someone told me to check out Smoky Ribs, and I did, and it's all history now.
Scotty,
What's
he
up?
invented smoke.
What's up, Steven? I didn't see you in there. I probably done missed all kind of stuff. I was going to read this one. Scotty is saying, use the vacuum jar like I showed on that video the other day. Fill it up with hot sauce. Add a raw egg. The egg draws the hot sauce into it. Then boil the egg. You get a spicy hard-boiled egg. That'd definitely be worth trying.
You know what I was thinking when you talked about that shrimp? So how could you make a stock? So you taught me, you confirmed, I'd never heard of anybody floating fish in water before you froze it. And you sort of confirmed that the other day. I wonder if you could actually do like even a broth, like if you're doing a bunch of shells, could you collect a bunch of shells, float them in water to freeze them? Would that create a broth? Or to freeze dry them? Or am I just...
All right, wait a minute. Say that again. Maybe I need to turn my volume up.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay,
I
here
see
we go.
Sam saying something here is highlighted or bold text. Did you catch that first or not?
You're talking about freezing fish in water, right?
Yes, I asked you a couple weeks ago, had you ever heard this method? And
On
you
the
said,
way we
yeah.
do it. Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
We always do it because it really keeps them the way they're supposed to be. And I'll go one step further. Some people, and I've done it, depending on what kind of fish. Like if speckled trout, they do good in just fresh water frozen, but a white trout don't freeze as good. So if you can actually get some of the water that you caught him in and freeze that, they do even better. They retain a lot of that saltiness and all,
But with that in mind, it was, I can't remember if it was you or what video it was. It may have been CJ, Mom and Papa Joe, where they took and used the shells after they cleaned the shrimp. They used the shells to create like a broth almost.
Oh yeah,
The shells itself. So I'm wondering if you could take in. I mean, would you just in other words, if you had to, if you were peeling a bunch of shrimp one day and didn't want to throw all the shell away, would you freeze them that way again in the water and freeze them as one, or would you just freeze the shells?
I would probably vacuum pack them shells and heads, but the heads could possibly punch a hole in your bags. The only problem with that,
Yeah.
but you could even put it in a Ziploc, or you could go ahead and make your stock and then freeze your stock.
Yeah. But and that freeze dryer wouldn't be a method of doing that either way.
You could do it with a. You just put it in a pot of boiling water to bring that back. Yeah, you could do that. You could definitely do that. But if you watch my video I did on gumbo about 9 years ago and watch how I made them seafood stocks, you'll see exactly what I did with them heads and shells, and also used parts of the crabs that I cleaned. Like the flippers and anything I didn't leave intact on the crab, I went ahead and, including the shells, I went ahead and threw in that stock water, to create that seafood stock, making a gumbo.
I did I can't remember what cook it was, but I used that method, that approach on a cook I did. I don't. It may have been broccoli and shrimp. I can't remember what I did, but there is a noticeable difference when you boil them shells down. You know, to use it as a I can't remember what I did. It may have been the broccoli and shrimp because I was flavoring the broccoli. I think is what I was doing with the shrimp shells. But there is definitely a difference with that.
Later, Sam, if you're still there. Yeah, man, it makes a difference. I would definitely save all that, and I do. Anytime we peel shrimp or whatever, I save all that stuff just for stocks or whatever. A lot of people say they do, and a lot of people don't. Kind of like a lot of people say they don't. They save their trimmings or whatever. I do save them because,
Yeah,
I make sausage. Why wouldn't I? That or I render my own tallow.
yeah,
There's that ongoing the gag that people say is, when you spatchcock a chicken, you remove all of these parts that you don't eat, but people say, oh, we're just going to save it for stock, but no one ever makes stock. But
Yeah,
I actually do make stock. I put it in the freezer, and whenever I have enough of it, I just make a bunch of chicken stock. It's good
same here.
stuff. It's good
Now,
for everything. I use it so much where I'd rather use, like just with rice itself, it makes the rice so much better than using water, you know?
yeah, absolutely. It adds more flavor to it. It's all about flavor. But yeah, I make all my own stocks. Depending on what I'm doing. I did that gumbo for El El Yucateco last year, and I made the stock with chicken thighs. I just let them boil to cook them.
Hmm.
It wasn't much of a chicken stock, but I did cook them that way, and then I
Yeah.
used that water in the gumbo. You know,
I did a. I'm not going to. This is your channel, but I recently experienced playing with some of that stuff and made a broth. I was very, very proud of myself for doing that one. Just out of nowhere, I was in a bind and made it work. So it's great, And Sal just did one, and I told him, I said, "Man, I wish I seen this one before, sooner." But you're absolutely right. Making your own, broths and stuff like that, man, it's
yeah,
such a difference. Such a difference.
it is,
Yeah.
and you can also take like if you got a bunch of beef bones and stuff with collagen and all that, you can make
Yeah.
them real thick beef stocks or beef. I'd call it a stock more than anything, but if you let it congel overnight, you can actually use that almost. What do they call that? Uh, I forget what they call it, but anyway, it's actually kind of gelled because all that collagen in it, and you can take a couple spoonfuls of that to add into something to make a sauce or whatever,
Hmm.
and it's very rich in beef flavor. All kind of things you can do, man. Tom's
Yeah.
Grilling, how you doing? Simon, I'm thinking this year your side hustle should be Santa photos.
I'm thinking about it. It's probably just going to the bar and picking on the chicks
There you go.
on the naughty list chicks.
Heck yeah. What is this here? Probably shit. I don't want to click on that. I'll lose my thing.
It was
John
just
Davidson.
it was Simon telling you he was in the basement coming in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, that's all
Sorry,
right.
chat. Yeah.
I've heard that making stock from shrimp shells makes the kitchen stink to high heaven. Is that true?
No,
I've never noticed it.
No, I didn't notice it.
Mm-mm.
No,
Mainly,
if you
mainly
let it
well,
run out, I'm sorry.
I was going to say the reason being, I don't think they ever hit the sink. I'll peel my shrimp and put all the holes and heads over in a bowl. If I'm gonna make a stock right then they go from that into a pot, with the water and seasonings and whatever I'm gonna put in there, which is usually the maripah, which is be onions, it'd be celery and carrot. And if there's any Cajuns, I'll say no carrots, use the bell pepper. But I'm talking about for stock. I'll use the Trinity inside the actual gumbo or whatever I'm making. But as far as the stock goes, Mirepoix.
I see Quint showing off his new colors in the chat. The only thing I would add to that too is just definitely don't let it run out of water and burn them shells up. Then yeah, you're gonna stink the place up to high heaven.
Now, what I do, if you watch that video, you'll see what I do. I made a stock, and then I made a concentrated stock, I guess you'd say, that I mixed into the other stock. I call it a super stock. And when those shrimp heads and all the flavors from everything I discarded, I'll boil that down and boil it and boil it and boil it and boil it until it's as thick as a gravy. Once I get all the flavor out of the shells and everything, I'll strain them out. All you got is a liquid, and you just keep boiling till you get it real thick. Then you spoon that off into your stock itself, and it really makes it potent. It's a lot of work, though. We add lemon to ours and other things to make a really good stock. Yeah. I'll put lemons in mine. I put lemons on if you watch that video. So never had an icky, smelly house. Yummy, want to eat the walls? Yes. For real.
At
I
least
don't
lick
even
them.
see that membership thing. Where are they finding it?
The joint button on one of his videos.
Oh, okay. Like on not this video here.
Let me see.
On YouTube, it might be, but not on StreamYard.
I don't see it here. I'd have to ask him if I could borrow some money before I became a member. So.
Russ, if I can borrow some money, I'll be a member.
I believe there's a join button on there.
Yeah, that's it. Join. I think
And
it's
that's what I was
probably
looking for. I've seen that, but I don't see
Yeah, it is on this video. Right next to his channel name, it has join right next to it.
Maybe I'm looking at the desktop version, so maybe the phone version doesn't have it.
Right,
I don't
correct.
even see his channel name. I mean, my picture and you're in the show is at the bottom of the panel.
Open up YouTube and go to Russ's page and
Open up another tab. Okay.
yeah, and then you can go to this video and you click on it, turn up the sound because it says echo.
Okay.
But you should see join right next to it.
yeah.
Well, that's good. Cool. I wish you luck with it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a ways to go before I get.
I've been dodging that for 3 years now, and in light of the way YouTube's acting and everything, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and utilize it. That's what it's for. I mean, just face it. Most people, not everybody, but a lot of people do YouTube to make extra income. And I can't say that I started that way. I didn't even know you could make money with YouTube for the first 6 months I was a channel. I was just having fun doing it. I still have fun doing it, but it's pretty cool if you can actually get it up to a point to where you can just do that and that only, which I can barely do, but I'm doing it. So far, almost 2 years into it. So
I'm sitting there thinking, just because of all the talk about Big Brother YouTube and the things they do and don't do, but I'm wondering if you open it up, this membership, is this opening it up to more views even? Are they going to push you harder now because they're going to make money from this?
Yeah, maybe. But it's going to be a little extra work on my part because instead of editing one video, now I'll have to pull all that other content that I got rid of and turn that into something. So I'll be working harder at doing that, but I don't care. I love doing that. That's what I do. Raymond Hampshire, hey, from Love Your Channel. I'm from Sydney, Australia. Awesome. Do you ever plan to come to Sydney for a holiday? Highly unlikely, man. I'd love to, but I doubt it. It's just me and my wife now. I don't foresee it.
Is that the guy that might have a wine cellar or something underneath his house by chance?
I don't think so. It could be.
Let's
I
not find
don't
out.
know.
That was like a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking it was from Australia. And, I mean, I don't know the name just because I want it to sound familiar, but he gave a tour of his wine cellar or something like that. Current rush. Hell. Yeah,
I'll probably only be on here maybe another 30 minutes. It'll be a 2 hour live. I'm gonna dog it off at that. I don't want to go no longer.
just
We started this up the last time I went live, and 11 hours later, I'm like, holy crap, man!
come on, Rush. Just one more beer.
I tapped out like after 8 hours, man. It's like, and then I noticed in the morning that it had just ended not too long ago after I woke up.
David Summerlin.
It not what?
No wine cellar in my place, unfortunately. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I don't drink bourbon too often, Quint. Maybe I might buy a bottle twice a year, man. That's about it. Have to watch it. What we gonna talk about, guys?
Yeah.
I'm getting a feedback from somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me. I got my daggone Redskins report playing in the background. I'm sorry.
Well, that ain't what I'm hearing. I'm hearing me.
Right.
Talk back.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna guess it's the only person that is not wearing headphones.
Might be.
I don't see how y'all wear them damn things. My ears start sweating.
I have AC in the house, so it's not hot.
Now, I got them right here. JVCs, but I can't stand them.
Oh, Raymond, when I did work, I left my job in November of 21, and I was a pipe welder. Actually, I was a pipe welding foreman for the last 9 years that I worked there, but was a pipe welder by trade for a naval shipbuilding place here in not here, but a few cities over in Pascagoula, Mississippi. All right, Scotty, man, appreciate it.
So your McRib is going to be your next cook then? Is that what
It's either going to be that or it could be the shrimp I was just talking about. It's going to be either that or that. But I'm on a time crunch. I've got to get this solar generator video out, and I've got to do something with that still. So I've got 4 videos, and I might knock out 3 of them this coming week and just post them as I want to. Just hammer them out day after day,
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Y'all getting a break in your heat anytime soon? Out there, Texas is all over the radio news last night about how they're just getting pounded with the heat.
Actual temperature, it hadn't been that bad, but the heat index at 9 o'clock last night is 101 heat index.
Woo.
Yeah, let me see what the temperature is right now.
If you could believe it, we had a little bit of rain on Wednesday. Here in
93 degrees, feels like 110.
Jeez, oh, flip.
oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
105 feels like 108. Dang, our humidity is just through the roof. Russ overcooked ribs.
81 feels like 75.
Pull the bones. People love that.
Yeah, south. We're 81, but our humidity has been so low for a few days now. It's unbelievable. Usually in Maryland, I mean, as soon as you step out the front door, your armpits are sticking to you because it's so wet around here.
Mike goes live tonight, 7:15, I think.
Or something like that.
I think I seen that earlier, didn't I, Mike? Where you're going live tonight? Yeah,
It
I'll be
was-
off of here between now and then.
Yeah, I think it's. Well, you might be right. I think it was 8:30 or something my time.
I think it was seven. Yeah,
Oh,
seven
Mike.
15. Yeah,
Oh,
seven
I didn't.
30 ish. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I picked Friday to do this because hardly anybody goes live at the time that I went. Anyway,
Hmm.
let's see. I've been experimenting. I've been experimenting more with sous vide and the offset. Smoked up some confit beef cheeks for 4 hours with a long braise done sous vide with tallow. One of the best. Ooh, man, that sounds good.
Hmm.
That'd be a good use for sous vide. I've got a sous vide setup. I don't use it much, but let me read that again. I've been experimenting more with sous vide and the offset. Smoked up some confit beef cheeks for 4 hours with a long braise done sous vide with tallow. Awesome. I'm gonna try that.
I forget whose live I was on with you, Russ. We were talking about sous vide, and I had to use it on this past weekend. I did some steaks on it, just because I just bought it, so it's just you guys talking about sous vide that one night made me wanna
That's
try it
actually
out.
outside of cooking some homemade hot dog wieners I made. The only thing I've ever used mine on is steak, but that using that to like braise
Hmm.
beef cheeks after you do the confit and smoke, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
That sounds great, actually.
I've never
Just
done cheeks. I heard they're tough, and they definitely got to be cooked up good.
they're not tough when you get them done right, man. They turn them. I mean, seriously, they just fall apart.
Yeah,
That's one of the best tasting cuts on beef, in my opinion. It's a really good beef flavor, and they
yeah,
make excellent tacos.
yeah. I've watched few videos on. They all say they're great, but you've really got to break them down. I mean, you really got to cook properly, or they're going to be tough. And one videos I watched, which really intrigued me, is that they sliced them real thin and made tacos with it, or pulled it. No, they pulled it and made tacos. It was like,
What was that?
I don't know.
So,
Going
let's see here.
to long hold
I've done
on
beef cheek smoke and confit. It was awesome.
Hey, I gotta jump off, so I'll see y'all later.
All right,
All right,
Simon.
Simon. Later, man. Appreciate it.
Going to tap the long hold on a brisket to sous vide next. I think that's how Randy RXTX does his. I don't have a sous vide. It's something
Yeah,
about gray meat just turns me off.
I was gonna make a video about that because I so far I've just been holding it in my oven. But I did hear that from Randy that he says he uses sous vide to hold a brisket overnight, which I'm definitely gonna try. Maybe make a video about it. Just kind of my first attempt at it, see how it kind of turns out.
Yeah. I did a video, I don't know, it's probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was talking about the other day where I deep fried those corn tortillas. I've got a thing that is a mold for the tortillas. Just drop it in, fry them for like 2 minutes, pull them out. You don't want them so crunchy they just fall apart. You want it close to that. But that's what I used on those beef cheek tacos. That was good. Gray meat reminds me of my ex-wife for some reason. Yeah, sous vide, man, that's like what they call precision cooking. You dial it in to whatever temp you want, and it'll hold it there.
Yeah, I guess that's the cheap side of me coming out again. I mean, so you're going to sit there and sous vide it for a set amount of time to take it off and then sear it.
Hmm.
It just seems like it's adding a lot more to the cook to me, but I guess I'm just jealous. I don't have one, so maybe that's my reasoning behind my opinion.
Yeah, all I've got is the controller or the circulator,
Hmm.
and I've got containers and stuff. Man, I'm echoing bad. Well, anybody got any more questions out there? You can ask these guys questions too, not just me. just direct it at who you want to answer it.
So yeah, so Lance, that is, it does seem like a kind of a waste of time. You could just grill a steak and be done with it in 10 minutes,
Yeah.
but the sous vide thing definitely takes some time. But I think you get a little bit, it's a little bit more tender. So I mean,
Yeah.
if
Well,
that's worth it to you,
if you're trying to dial in a perfect steak, that's it's going to do it every time. That's
yeah,
one thing about it. But
Right.
what I like about it is I'll throw out steak sometime for just me and the wife, and I'll go in there and get my container, fill it full of water, put it in the circulator, and set it at the temp I want it. And I'll come back in here and watch TV, and I hear it beep. I hear it when it's
yeah,
ready. I'll go in
Yeah.
there. I already have my steaks vacuum sealed. I'll drop
yeah,
them in there. If they try to float or whatever, which they usually don't, because I pull a good tight seal on them, and then
yeah,
I'll let them cook like a steak. I think I go an hour and a half at 130 or
yeah.
128. I think I bring them up to 128. Take them out, sear them, and sometimes I'll actually fire the grill up just to get that grill flavor, and I'll sear them hot and fast on each side. And man, they're perfect.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing on Saturday. I set a couple of steaks, and then I just went off and ran a couple of errands, grocery shopping. Time I came back, they were ready. I did the chimney sear, so I just put up a chimney and put my grate over it. It takes like seconds, to
Yeah.
sear it.
That charcoal lighter that Anthony with Fire Cups just made. It's such a big surface. You in that grate you can get to do that exact thing, Sal.
Yeah,
To cook a steak off the top of it.
yeah.
It would be cool for something like that.
Yeah, the way I did it was a little dangerous just because I used the big 22-inch grate on it. So it was a little wobbly. So I definitely had to be there and have my gloves ready in case it fell over. Because if it falls over, you're going to try to catch it with your bare hands, and it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually has a cooking grate made for the top of it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hate sneezing. I don't know what it is, man. I can't stand sneezing. But as far as that marinating them hot dogs, I got a what's that thing that you had, Russ, that I bought because you had it and I had to be like Russ. It's a marinade vacuumer, the meat vacuumer.
Oh, the tumbler,
and
vacuum
the
tumbler.
vacuum. Yeah, I have the thing I have one of those. So you're right. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, mine is over here in the closet. I was going to use it a couple of weeks ago on something, then I decided not to.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was. It was that one I showed, that skirt steak. I ended up just vacuum packing and marinate overnight instead of using the vacuum tumbler. I had to take it to Alabama, so that was an easier option. I got to get a bunch of my tools back over here too. All my sausage making equipment's over there at Derek's place.
Eric still.
Yeah, he's gonna argue with me on that because he's fixing to go get neck deep in deer hunting. He's gonna be wanting to grind up a lot of that deer, but he's going to come over here to do it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any experience separating the flat from the point of a brisket and smoking them individually for the times when you don't want? Yeah, actually I do. Uh, I got a video showing how to do that. I did it. I can't remember the name of the video, but if you look at the video right before, best way to do it is go to my channel page, click on videos, and when you get to one where you see pastrami, look for the video is either right before that video or right after that video. But I did brisket burn ends, and I bought a whole brisket and I separated the point. I made burn ends out of the point, and I made pastrami out of the flat. But I show exactly how to. All it is like a layer of fat between the two muscles that's separated. And once you figure out where that is, you just cut it off,
West you smoke.
Somebody there asked about what type of charcoal you use, Russ.
Yeah, I saw that.
Charcoal?
Yeah.
Phil Marcel.
I normally buy Kingsford, but when I had a thing with Fogo, they were sending me lump charcoal that I used a lot. I like Fogo, but it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm grilling I like that grill flavor that regular charcoal briquettes give you. And
Mhm.
if I'm doing it like a smoking situation where I'm adding smoke and everything, lump charcoal works good. Like if you're using a charcoal wood combination, lump charcoal and wood chunks, I prefer over the briquettes.
Mhm.
And there again, it depends on the cooker. Lump burns up really quick in the wrong cooker, but
Right.
if you put it in something like a Kamado or even a drum smoker, you'll get a lot more hours out of lump than when you would, let's say, a Weber kettle. You know,
Mhm.
My Kamado style Bayou Classic, I'll burn a lump. I like the Cowboy. I will use B&B. But if we're talking about, I like Russ. I use the blue bag of Kingsford. But let me tell y'all about a bag that I won Cowboy charcoal, and it's onion, garlic, and I think Kingsford or someone made some of that stuff. And I tried all their flavors. Didn't like any of them. Thought it was a gimmick. But that Cowboy briquettes, onion garlic, that stuff is great. I mean, great. It actually has a flavor to it. You can see the pieces of garlic and stuff in those little briquettes. It's great stuff. If you ever
Mhm.
find it, I want a bag, and I've never been able to find another bag of it yet. That's good stuff.
later, John. Thanks for popping in here. I don't do the lives that often, but I do occasionally. Well, guys,
No,
I
that
reckon
would even
we'll
be that'd be something for your members too.
what's
Have
that?
a pass a live link out to your members only.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
If you click on the member button, you'll see what the perks are, and that's one of them. A weekly members only live. You know how we do them private lives sometimes?
Right.
It would be like that. Just select people that are members would be the only ones that could get in. They'd be the only ones to see the link or even know about it. You know,
But a pre-recorded or actual live
no,
one?
it's actual live. I'm doing that along with the bloopers and takeouts of videos, and then the YouTube thing they give you. They allow you to do the stars or the emojis, and you got to make your own emojis. So what I did is I went into my phone and I've saved them and I sized these down to 48 by 48. But let me crap. That's right. Let's see. Like kind of like me throwing a thumbs up right there.
Yeah.
I'm able to save that. Then I can do a transparent background. Then I size it down to 48 by 48. So I use stuff like that for my emojis. And they only let you do four when you first start. Then as you gain more members, they'll let you create more and more and more of them. The more members you get, the more emojis they'll let you upload, you know,
So that's your own AI created emoji.
iPhone.
iPhone.
Yeah, you know how you go in there and make it look like you, kind of, sort of. Even though I got a goatee in there instead of a full beard,
Yeah.
but
I've never done
but
any of
yeah,
that.
I had to actually text my wife, and once I text it, I can right click on it or hit my thumb, and I can save it. Or actually, I think I did a screen capture to save it, and from there, I took it into my editing program for photos and cropped it small. Then did a transparent background, sized it down to 48 by
Yeah,
48 pixels, and saved it.
yeah.
Boom.
The iPhone calls them memojis, so
Yeah.
it's like you could like.
Right. Right. Exactly
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I don't know if Droid does that stuff or not.
But yeah, that's how I did it. Cause see, anyone ever used Japanese? I can't pronounce that, but charcoal. Oh, I got some of that. It's up in the top of this closet. It's in a little box.
Chatin? And
That
chatin?
it looks almost like them char logs. Like they're round. Like I
Oh
don't
yeah.
remember if mine have holes in them or not, but it's really hard charcoal.
Your
I've had
buddy
a box.
Greg did a video on that. He was camping out in the on a camping trip or something. I think he used that stuff. He took one of those old Weber kettle travelers or something
He
like that.
took the S&S travel kettle. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that video.
that's the first time I've ever seen those. But yeah, I think they were hard to light, wasn't it?
Yeah, if I remember right, he said that. But he said it sounds like glass when they're tapped. That's because they're so hard. These things probably burn a long time. They use them over in Japan for like the yakitori grills, the little rectangle grills that you can do skewers on right there at the table where you're eating, and that's what they use is that kind of charcoal he's talking about. But yeah, I do have a box, and I used to have a yakitori grill, and I bought them for that video, and the video never happened. I never did it, so I still got
Yeah.
the charcoal. I come up with ideas sometime, and next thing you know, I done backed out. Something else takes precedence
I
over
was
it.
just
You know?
going to say something else takes precedent of it, and
Yeah.
like I was digging through the freezer earlier because there's this one recipe I really wanted to do, and I didn't have a big enough pork loin, but I think I'm going to make what I have work. And but then something like that will happen, and sometimes I'll just say, "Oh well, maybe next time," and then I never go back to it.
Is that your next video, Lance?
What's that?
Is that the next video you're working on? That pork loin?
Yeah, yeah, it'll be used, but that's not. It's not just going to be a smoked whole pork loin or anything.
Here's a question right here, Joseph Shaw. Hey, oh, that's Joey. What's up, man? I know you. We used to play when we were kids. I'm best friends with his cousin and Ricky. This is the same. I know it is. I'm looking at your face right there. Wow. Actually, man, I don't do sous vide too much. Normally, when I do steaks, even though sous vide does an excellent job, I'll just do a reverse sear. I'll do indirect until I get the center of the steak up to where I want it, and that all depends on if it's bone in and how thick it is, as to where I bring that temperature. I take it off. I let it rest a little bit. I'll crack on. I'll usually do a salt brine the night before to where all the salt's already in there. Then I'll just take a little olive oil and brush each side, put some black pepper on it, then sear it both sides fast as you can, like a minute each side. And that's how I do steaks typically, whether it's a filet mignon or ribeye or whatever. Which a filet, a good one's going to be pretty thick anyway. But
Yeah, that's the same guy was asking about that. I like to know if that's right. Is it been chatin coal charcoal? He was saying he can use that stuff up to 5 times.
really,
One
five
right
times
on
if I
show
snuffed it
off.
out. Wow. I ordered that years ago, man. I forgot I even had it. It's up in this closet here to my left. Can't even get into that closet. I got a table in front of it with a freeze dryer and everything else. I can get in one side of it. I'd have to move all this to really get in there. Yeah, I'll be darned. Joseph Shaw. Well, guys, I reckon I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Or do y'all want to go about another 10 minutes?
Your call,
Yeah.
boss. Well, 10 minutes. You have 2 hours. So,
Yeah, let's just take it all the way up to 7
are you
o'clock.
are you keeping this one up or?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one up. This isn't one of them 11-hour
Oh,
thingy jiggies where I can't even remember what I did the next day. So no,
good thing we didn't say anything inappropriate then.
yeah, no doubt.
Oh, and Sal too. I don't. We can get together again if you want. I have no problem with that. The text you sent me earlier week.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Lance. We'll talk about it. We'll figure something out. I Yeah, as I've come to the realization, I need to collaborate a little bit more with people. I just kind of feel, whatever that means. It doesn't have to be a video. It could jumping on the live. It doesn't. It could just be throwing ideas around. Because I feel like YouTube thing can be lonely You know, if there's nobody to shoot around ideas, like that's what's so great about these lives is there's always a little inspiration, coming from the
Sure.
chat or other creators.
Yeah,
So
and
I
Yeah,
feel,
it's good camaraderie just between other creators too.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Doing a
I bought.
live by yourself, I just think that, to me, it's hard, because I want to
yeah,
make sure that people in the chat are getting their questions answered.
yeah,
I need to be thinking about the next one, the next question, or the next statement, whatever's going to roll off my tongue before it actually
hmm,
happens. And if you have someone doing, fielding it, and like you said, if you got to a quiet moment, then maybe the co-host,
yeah,
or the guest, whoever, can say something, ask something,
yeah,
or take a
absolutely,
question. But
I'll tell you
yeah,
one thing: being a host of a show, it's hard to talk with a panel and keep
yeah,
up with the chat sometimes, especially if
yeah,
you don't do it very often. But I think I'm doing fairly good today compared to what I normally do.
yeah. I
Rick's
don't know.
Barbecue. I'm trying to
Yeah,
subscribe to all the panels channels. Good deal, man.
when I first saw it, I thought it was Rick's Barbecue and Specialties.
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Rick's
Well,
SJC.
she hasn't gone live, right? Rick hasn't gone live. I haven't seen him jump
I
on.
think Rick has turned his focus in. Well, he was supposed to change his live from Mondays to Thursday, and then I saw where he was actually refocusing on he and his brother getting back into the cooking world, competing or doing events,
Hmm.
catering, whatever it is. But the trailer, the cooking trailer, is on the road again.
Okay.
And I have seen that. But as far as what all he's doing for sure with it, or how long, I'm not. Uh, well, that's true too. He was moving, but it was only like a couple miles away. Same
Yeah,
development, just a different apartment.
yeah. And maybe I'll just hit him up on Instagram or something just to.
I just made my channel about a month and a half ago, just backyard stuff, no production value. Man, that's how we all start, and that's really where we still are. you know, I don't have a professional kitchen or nothing, just cameras and tripods and us. That's what we do, man. That's YouTube.
Yeah, you can't really worry about that stuff either, just because you're starting out. Everybody knows, the production value is not going to be there because you're just starting out, So
Yeah.
in time, it'll get better. You just have to kind of stick with it.
There's a good question. Yep.
Seems like direct heat cooking has really taken off on YouTube barbecue scene recently. What are your guys' thoughts about it? Uh, nah, I don't really have no thoughts. I mean, depends on what I'm doing, I guess. Like I did that Baltimore pit beef, that's direct cooking. There was
Hmm.
fire right up under it, but at a distance.
Yeah,
And I do have a good pit for that. That pits and spits with up and down. You got so much control over your heat, you know.
yeah,
And it depends on
yeah,
what you're doing. I suppose I don't have nothing against it. As far as brisket, I know Joe just did one. I noticed it didn't have much of a smoke ring. I would think it'd be similar to a hot and fast brisket like people do on smokers, but probably less smoke. Might be a little roasty tasting, instead of that smoked brisket flavor.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, it's a YouTube. Things come on YouTube and they just go freaking viral and they last
yeah,
for a while. Then it's on. Then the next one pops up. It was
yeah,
always a new thing.
yeah,
There's one video I remember seeing about a year ago that I thought for sure would be eating up the YouTube airwaves, and I never saw it happen, or I just missed it all the time. And that was some guy named Russ that did that stuffed brisket. I thought that thing was going to take off like wow. So what in the world? I said this is going to
I did
go
too, man.
crazy. I said this is going to go crazy, and I didn't hear another peep about it for the most part.
No, I looked at it today. I was thumbing through all my videos. So a lot of times you'll have videos that didn't start off good, you can go back a year later and look at them like, whoa, check this out,
Yeah.
and they get a few views. Now it hasn't got a lot of views, but compared to what it was when it started, I forget. I think it's like 20,000 views now or something like that. It ain't much compared to what I was hoping it would get. But let's see. Does anyone have a good recommendation for a meat slicer? Man, that can go from very cheap to very expensive, depending on what you want. A globe slicer is what I want because I want a 12-inch one. I do have a 10-inch. Paid about $375 on Amazon. It's a decent slicer. It's Chinese. Most things are now that you get off Amazon, especially. But I would say if you want a really good one, if you're willing to spend the money, either a Globe or a Hobart, those are real deal meat slicers. If it's something
Well,
just for your home, probably something like what I got. I'd go at least 10-inch. I'd stay away from the little cheap 8-inch ones.
I would go like Russ said, buy something that's really nice, like those two brands, and because of the price value, personally, I'd go in it used.
Yeah,
As long as it's wasn't something that was had the crap beat out of it, and
yeah.
you could save hundreds of dollars by buying a Hobart
I'll
used
be right back.
easily.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely, man.
and
Absolutely.
it's not something you're going to use every day. So if it's a decent one, it's probably going to last you your lifetime. If you take care of it. But definitely
Man,
don't buy those Walmart little noise makers because you'll just be unhappy for it.
you will, and they get dull quick. The one I've got, it's got a little thing on the top above the blade, and you can, I forget how you do it. You pull a pin, you flip it around or something, but it's got two stones on there. If
Yeah,
that blade starts getting dull, you bring that into it, and it sharpens your blade. Then it pulls
yeah.
back out, and
Mine
then
has the same thing. You just like you say, lift up a head, flip it over, straddles the blade, and then you depress like activating button. You only
right,
leave it there
you,
for
you
seconds.
push in, and you hear
Yeah, yeah,
and then you're sharp. Just get off of it and use it till it gets dull again. I've
yeah.
only had to sharpen mine one time, but I've used it not a whole lot, but quite a bit. I did a pit beef sandwiches a couple of years ago using olive round. Then I did that Baltimore pit beef back last year. I used it on that. Then I did that pork loin where I shave it real thin for like a faster pork butt, not a pork butt, but a pork sandwich
Mhm.
because you can cook a whole pork loin in 3 hours compared to 10 hours on a pork butt, and it's really good if it's shaved real thin. I've used it on that. I've used it when I was doing sausage, like slicing bologna that I made and summer sausage. There's a lot of uses for it.
Yeah,
Mad Scientist just did a rotisserie brisket on a gas grill.
they
Hmm.
can't stop gushing about it. Oh, I'm reading the next one, the one below it.
When Nelson saw that one, they couldn't stop gushing about how good it was.
Yeah, that could have been a lot of actor stuff going on there. Who knows? But
Oh, it's the best ever.
yeah, but that the person that asked a question up there earlier about the open fire stuff, that that cook that you talked about, uh, that pit beef, that's a great video to watch, man. It just I actually learned something on that one too about as far as you cook it too raw. Well, if
Yeah.
you have that customer that wants a little medium, you do this, and just
Right.
little stuff like that. I never would have thought about that, but
Yeah, they get these bottom rounds and they cook it to where it's basically kind of still raw right in the center of it, and you can prepare it to order because you just go ahead and slice it. If the middle's raw, you take a handful that you're gonna put on a sandwich, you put it back on the pit, toss it and turn it until you get that color you wanting, that medium rare. Put it on the sandwich, put your sauce on it, your condiments, bam, you're done. If you want it rare, it's already rare. If you want it well done, leave it on there a little bit longer. But you
right,
cook everything to rare because, and that's a way, like in a restaurant situation, to where you can please everybody. I want mine rare. I want mine bleeding. I want it kicking. I want mine medium. I want mine tough. I want mine leather. You can do any of that with
yeah.
just one cook. So yeah, pretty cool. But
Is that
look,
is
it's
that
right at 7 o'clock.
all right?
So I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, Lance. I don't want to overstay my welcome with my subs, and all that. Let me see what the last comments are. Immediately made me want to figure out how to rig up a rotisserie. Okay. Smoke Your Rose Barbecue. I remember watching the pit beef vid. I remember correctly, there was some aggressive char on it. Yeah, on the outside, and you shave the fat off of it after you get that char, and then you put it back on the pit, and then you char it again where that fat was. Lay the fat around it to flame up that fire. You really get it kissed with flame.
Yeah. I want to try a brisket hanging from the drum. That's the one I want to see.
Yeah.
I actually saw one. That had my curiosity up. Russ, I appreciate you letting me in.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna jump over there to Mike's live whenever he goes live. So I might see you over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over on Mike's and hang around there for a bit.
All right, man. We'll holler at you later. I appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for the memberships, Quint and Randy and everybody else that did that. Wasn't expecting it, but much appreciated. Appreciate everybody that joined in here. And I'll try to do it more often. I know I got to do it now every week on the members section because I've already committed to that. So that's one of the perks. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, Troy. Appreciate it. I didn't know you were still in here. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Good
Pete
hearing from you too.
has a question real quick. You don't have a pork jaw recipe on your channel, do you?
Pork jaws. I got pork cheeks.
Okay.
I did last fall or winter. Yeah, I do. But anyway, all right, guys.
We're gonna head over to Mike Brown Barbecue later
Yep.
on if y'all want to see it, watch another live.
He's gonna be on around 7:30, as she said. So see some of y'all over there if you join. Y'all have a good one. Have a great weekend. All right, man. No problem.
There's your boy.
Huh?
There's your buddy every day, Mike.
Oh man. Yeah. I thought Mike was gonna be in here, but dang, sorry, Russ. Just finished up here. No problem, Mike. We can do it again next time, man. All right, buddy. Y'all take care.